just running behind that offensive line and just the consistency that those guys have shown week in, week out, all year long. Just how special of a unit is that to run behind all year long?
Truly special. We talk about it in our room. We point things out on the film. When you see these guys finishing, coming off the ball the way they do, you know, those guys take pride in that, talking about the old linemen. And our guys take pride in hitting the hole. So we definitely talk about it in my room.
I know quarterbacks are usually the ones to give Christmas gifts to the offensive linemen. Do running backs give gifts as well?
Like a former life, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you should. I think you should. So you want me to pass a message along, or you trying to say something? Did they butter you up to tell me that? All right. All right. Thank you.
Straight back, like, are we done talking about injuries after his performance last week? Is he still dealing with something?
I don't know. You asked the question. What you think? All right. One of these days we're gonna switch. I'm gonna put you up here and I'm gonna sit in your seat. I'm gonna grab your computer, look at your notes. Now I think Swift is doing fine, man. I think he's slowly but surely getting back to the Swift we all know, and he's showing that. He's fighting through some things and just going out there battling. And you know, this is NFL, so he'll tell you, man, hey, I got to go out there and perform, and that's what he's doing.
Something nagging him though. I mean, when you say
I'm pretty sure all of them do. I do. 15 years ago.
How do you manage the rotation? How do you in and out with those guys?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, usually when you have two, you kind of lean towards the hot hand. But when you got three and they all playing well, you just kind of you get them going, and you have certain plays that are tagged for them, and you try to get that rotation and keep that rotation. And it's tough sometimes. It's tough because, you know, you could get a guy that, like Swift, since we're talking about him, that say he broke a 30, 40-yard run. Well, the next play, it could be Jamal going in. You know, you kind of want to wish you could leave him in and kind of get going. And sometimes you can. I'm not saying you can't, but how we're programmed, we don't do that.
Craig's clock starting back up, by IR. How much more difficult does it make managing the rotation?
Another good question. Craig's, you know, before, of course, he got hurt, he was playing well. He was going out there doing exactly what we wanted him to do. And Craig, man, he's just a baller, man. I mean, he's going to do exactly what you tell him to do. He's going to fight, and he's going to go out there and try to make sure it's perfect. So getting him back in the rotation during this time is definitely good for us. Just got to find a little hole for him.
Amon-Ra spend any time in your room? I mean, I know he's in the backfield every once in a while. Does he work directly with you when he does some of that
we
stuff?
talk on the field. If I see something, I share it with him. But he has a little knack back there, you know, as a running back. I tell him all the time, hey, man, there's more to running. Come back and block. You know what I'm saying? But nah, he don't want to do any of that. You know, and I don't blame him.
Dan sort of referenced this. I asked Mark about this. The Vikings have a chance to win the division here at Ford Field this week. Is that any bit of motivation at all to make sure it doesn't happen? I mean, I know there's bigger picture things for you, but is there any? I don't know. How much does that sort of play into wanting to get a win, needing to get a win this week?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I can go so many ways with that question, but I'm gonna stay calm. That's what I'm gonna do. Anytime, you know, of course, something like this, a chance like for those guys to come in and do something like that, it gets you fired up if you're the opposing team. So our guys are motivated. They just want to go back to work, and that's what they did this week, you know. And I'm excited. I'm excited for our guys to be able to go out there and just continue to show the world who they are. So it don't matter if they were coming in. It don't matter who was coming in. You know, we look at it as the next game we're trying to win, period, point blank. Good try, though. Good try. You getting good, man.
We're up in the press box, so maybe it's hard to just get a great feel for the energy at Ford Field the last couple of weeks. But when you're down on the field, when it was hopping as it was Thanksgiving, and when you guys were really humming last week too, just how much of an advantage is that for you guys when that's rolling?
You know, it's funny. I don't really like, and even as a player, people would ask that question, but I really don't pay attention to it. I really don't hear it, man. I'm so locked in and focused to make sure they got the right look, to make sure I'm explaining it right to them, to try to show them what they should be doing, catching the picture. You know, of course, you don't have the video, so all you're doing is catching the picture, so you got to get feedback. So I'm so locked in and focused, I don't really.
be it outside or inside the building, can you sense just the anticipation for this game?
Yeah, you can feel it like doing pregame because you're coming out, you hear the crowd, and it's been like that. It's been like that since I've been here. I love this town, man. This is a football town, and they show it each and every Sunday.
And specifically for this game, can you sense how important this is to, again, everybody
I hadn't
outside
really.
and external?
I'm not really listening. I don't pay attention to all that.
I see a difference in this team, in their approach, their belief, their confidence when you've been winning, as opposed to maybe earlier in the year when you weren't there yet.
Oh yeah, man. It's all about just being able to get over the hump. So when you get over the hump, and I told some of the guys this, you go into the game with little bruises and nicks, and maybe it's a shoulder or a hamstring or a wrist or whatever, and you come out of the game with the same thing. Well, that Monday's a little bit different because it has a W attached to it compared to an L. So you still got the same soreness, you still got the same feeling, but you sit up a little bit more because you won. Or you sit up, or you have more energy out on the field because you won. So, and you see that from these guys, and rightfully so.
How about within a game, when you take a shot and maybe things aren't going your way? Is there a difference in belief when you've been winning that we can handle this, we'll get this thing back, versus when you're losing where maybe you're thinking something else bad might happen?
Well, I think Dan has done a great job of putting this team in situations like that, like doing training camp, putting our offense backed up, 3rd and 11, of course, you're backed up, 3rd and 11, all kind of things can go wrong. No, you go out there and make it happen. Getting our defense, maybe it's a penalty on the defense. They could have got off the field, but no, they're still on the field. All right, here we go again. No, you got to stop them this time. So when those situations occur, I think we're built for it.